Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Worship all. Let's thank Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala who has given us mercies and blessing, so we can attend and gather in this place with good condition. Before I start my presentation, I want to introduce myself. Okay, introduction myself. My name is Novendra Kurniawan. You can call me Novendra or Pepen. I'm in class 10 Kanji, and in school in vocational school in Manila in Jonggol Bogor. Okay, this is my introduction certificate. When I get in Manila Ilmi, that's Methodic certificate here and through Presentasi, Methodic certified logic engineering. Next, I explored mission in hospital and at Depok at 11 November 2000. Next, why do I choose to go to school here? First, because this school far from all people. Two, because of its education. In my school, there are two majors, that is DKJ and FPL. Next, here I will just tell about the FPL majors, but I will not discuss it too deeply. People ask question, what is the FPL? FPL is the department that learns about programming and others about software. And I choose management. And why? Why I choose management? First, because I love network work, and two, because I want to be a network engineer. What's going on here in TKJ? That's recording and Cisco and Juniper and Aruba. Picotic is small company headquartered in Latvia, adjacent to Russia. It farmers initiated by John Rowley and Ernest Dexter. John Rowley is an American who immigrated to Latvia. In Latvia, he met Ernest, scholar physics and mechanics circa 1995. John and Agnes began floating war in 1996. The micro division on with the floating all over the world. Start with Linux and MS-DOS system combined with wireless LAN. LAN. Aeronet speed to technology Mbps in Moldova, neighboring Latvia, and serve 5 customers in Latvia. Their basic principle is not value. It is not make wireless ISP or WISP, but make a reliable router program and can be run around the world. Latvian only is the best John and Arnie's experiments because now they have helped other countries, including Sri Lanka, serving about 400 users. The first line of use is kernel 2.2, which was developed jointly with the help of 5 until 15 research staff and development. Recording, which now control the world of routing in developing countries. According to Arnis, in addition of to start in recording next work group, they are also recruiting freelancers and intensive third parties developing microtik in Marathon. Microtik router is designed with the system modular, so it is possible to add wireless interface to switch to about Cisco. Cisco is an American multinational technology headquartered in San Jose, California. It's the center of Silicon Valley. The developer, manufactures, and sells networking hardware, telecommunication equipment, and other high technology services and products. Tiga control is numerous acquirers, subsidiaries such as OpenDNS, WebEx, Jabber, and Jasper. Cisco specializes into specific niche markets such as Internet of Things or IoT, domain security, and energy management. Cisco is the largest networking company in the world. The stock was added to the Jonas Industrial Average on June 8, 2009, and is also included in the S&P 500 index. Russell 1000 and index and Nasdaq 100 index. The Russell 1000 Growth Stock Index. Cisco system was founded in December 1984 by Leonardo Bosak and Sandy Renner to Stanford University computer scientists who pioneered the concept of local area network online being used to connect geographically disparate computers over a multi-protocol router system. By the time the company went public in 1990, when it was listed on the Nasdaq, Cisco had a market capitalization of $224 million. Cisco was the most valuable company in the world by 2000, with a more than 500 billion market capitalization. California that develop and market networking product. Its product include router, switch, network management software, network security product, and software-defined networking technology. Unique network originally focus on which are used by internet service provider (ISPs) to perform IP address lookups and direct internet traffic from the acquisition of Unisper in 2002. The company entered the market for edge router, which are used by SPS to route internet traffic to individual consumers. Unifor Network entered the IT security market in our G Protect security toolkit in 2003 before acquiring security company Netscape Technologies the following year. It entered the enterprise segment in the early 2000s, which accounted for one third of revenues by 2005 as of 2014. Unifor has been focused on developing the software-defined networking product. However, in 2016, the company encountered some controversy for allegedly putting backdoors into its ChromeOS products. And let's see about Aruba. Aruba is a vendor of data networking solution for enterprise and business worldwide. Aruba Network was founded in 2002 and is focused on bringing Wi-Fi, wireless and mobility solution to enterprise network with its acquisition by Hewlett Packard, now Hewlett Packard Enterprise in 2015. Aruba Network has become the MCP of Hewlett Packard Enterprise, bringing to market of campus and small business data networking offerings of HP. Its core product are wireless access point, wire switch, and mobility controls and network management software. The company has over 1,800 employees and is headquartered. Okay, here I will discuss about my friend from TKJ. People ask question, what is TKJ? TKJ is the department that learn about network and hardware from computer. Why I choose to be a network engineer? Because first I will do monitoring, like is there a strange traffic? Why on the screen there is an increase in traffic that right at 11 p.m. Second, doing troubleshooting. For example, there is a user who cannot access the Wi-Fi. Then the network engineer will check why this user can access Wi-Fi. Is there a problem on the network? Or is he computer error? Third, a network engineer should be fluent in using a protocol analyzer like KPI or Wireshark for network analysis. Making the planning and network topology so easy in troubleshooting, like IP address allocation, VLAN, or routing requests. In the topology, the two ends of the network must end with a terminator connector can be used to extend it. The network consists of only one cable channel using a BNC cable. Computer that want to connect to the network can associate themselves with their external cable. Bus network intelligence is very simple. Chip and maximum consists of 5 until 70 computers. The difficulties often faced is the possibility of collision of data because the network mechanism is relatively simple and if one of the nodes break it while disrupt the performance and traffic of the entire network. So, topology. A ring network is a network topology in which each node connects to exactly two other nodes, forming a single continuous pathway for signals through each node. A ring that travels from node to node with each node along the way handling every packet. Third, topology star. Star network is an implementation of a switch hub distribution paradigm in computer network. Thus, the hub and the leaf nodes and the axis of the stars. Data of the network pass through the hub, switch or concentrator before continuing to its destination. The hub, switch or concentrator manage and control all function of the network. It also acts as a repeater for data flow. This configuration is common with this pay cable and optical fiber cable. However, it can also be used with coaxial cable. Star networks are one of the most common computer network topologies, and its simple form. A star network consists of one central hub which acts as a conduit to transmit message. In star topology, every host is connected to a central hub. Next, topology extended star. The extended star topology can be defined as a combination of some star topologies. Extended star topology is an advanced development of star topology where its characteristics are not much different from the star topology. That is, it's not communicates directly with the subnode, while the subnode communicates with the central node. Traffic data flow from node to subnode, then forwarded to central node and back again. Used on large network and requires connection that are large or exceeding the maximum connecting capacity. Topology mesh. Mesh network is a local network topology in which the infrastructure nodes like bridge, switch, and other infrastructure devices connect directly, dynamically, and non-hierarchically to as many other nodes as possible and cooperate with one another to efficiently route data from or to clients. This act of dependency on one node allows for every node to participate in the relay of information. is organized and self-configured, which can reduce installation overhead. The ability to self-configure enables dynamic contribution of world-class customers, particularly in the event that a few nodes solve fail. This in turn contributes to fault tolerance and reduce the maintenance costs. Why I choose to be an admin? Fifth, apply network security like reading firewalls for blocking access to certain networks, specific website, and others. Making bandwidth management. So as happen, the seizure of bandwidth between users. Bandwidth for staff is normal bandwidth. Bandwidth for administrator high bandwidth. And bandwidth for one and low bandwidth. For remote supply or on-site support, not infrequently outside the hours of the network engineers. Office is still related to the problem network, but action needs to be done immediately, often in immediate work. Knowledge of other things will be helpful in network troubleshooting. Like now, how to do database work from the network. Understand the operating system, and also understand the programming as well. Feeding me for one semester. Happy. Why? Why? And why? Surely everyone asks why I can be happy here. First, because I got a new friend. I take the picture when I examination English with Mr. Rizal, Mr. Rizky. And so, because I got new experience, the same I take the picture when I examination English camp. 3. Because I got new teacher. Yes, teacher like again Mr. Brown and Mr. Rosit. For teacher teaching experience for the first time. This is teaching grade 14. First time making a book. In here, I and my friends making a book about microtic and now we make a book about Cisco, CCNA, Cisco Certified Network Associate. Here, I will present about all my friends from TKJ. I will present about my friend from TKJ. First, Adil Jason Faisal. Second, Hilmi Muhammad Dafa. Third, Kevin Ahmed Talawi. Fourth, Muhammad George Osama. 5. Muhammad Fadl Aziz. 6. Mizan Yunus Aldian. 7. Mukarrar bin Aima. 8. Nabil Bismillah Hidayah. 9. Tugas Ardana. 10. Tengku Firdausya. And then Palendra First, Adil Zahran Faisal. Adil Zahran Faisal come from East Jakarta. Has been studying with me at in junior high school in Madinatul Quran, Bogor. And he's also get international certificates NTCNA and NTCRE, and he is very pro in English language. And his hobby is riding horse and swimming. Second, Henry Muhammad Dafa. Henry Muhammad Dafa came from China. I met him when I was in bootcamp training before I joined the vocational high school in June. And this year, MTCMA and MTCRE with me. And he's trying CCMA in Sleepy, West Jakarta. And he's very pro in computer software problems. And his hobby is playing game. Third, Kevin Ahmad Lawi. Kevin Ahmad Lawi. He's come from Batam. I met him when I was studying orientation time. And he's pro in computer hardware problem. And he also get international certificate, MTCNA and MTCM. And his hobby is playing game and watching Japan cartoon or anime. 40. Muhammad George Osama. Muhammad George Osama came from Kalimantan. I met him when I was studying orientation time. Kevin and Dafa and Kevin. And he's pro in drawing anything with using a pencil. And he's also get international certificate NCNA and NTCRE. And his hobby is looking for something on Google. Fifth, Muhammad Fadl Aziz. He is Fadl Aziz came from East Jakarta. I met him when I was studying orientation. He is a diligent student, but he's pro in making people annoying. And he also get MTCMA and MTCRE, and inshallah in Sabtu he and friend in his friends go to Bandung for training CCIA or MTCD. CIA or MTCD in Bandung. And his hobby is reading book. 6. Mizan Yunus Aldian. Dennis Alia is from Jakarta. I met him when I was studying orientation time. I came in and George. He is a smart student, but if he says sometimes it's text translate. And he also get understand and understanding. And his hobby is sleep. the same time, he is a full student. He also get an international certificate, and his hobby is playing football. Age 19 is Muwadi Jayo. He is from East Bekasi, like me. And he's study with me at me since when I'm in junior high school. Nanya Al-Quran, my friend Adrian, he is a common student. And he's get international certificate and the CNA, and the CRE, and the JUME, Technical Certified User Management Engineer, and MTCTC, Technical Certified Traffic Control Engineering. And his hobby is playing basketball. 9. Tegar Rizky Ardana. He is from Chelsea. I met him when I was studying orientation time. He's the Asian student, and he's here MTCNA, and orientation or Mechanical Certificate Management Engineer. And his hobby is Chinese people. 10. Tengku Firdausya. Tengku Firdausya come from Riau. I met him when after I leadership camp, and he's a student with plain personality, and he's here MSNA and MCRE international certificate, and his hobby is playing football like my friend Robin. And then Talendra Muhammad Gibran. He is from West Bekasi. I met him when I was studying orientation time, and he's obedient student tip type, and he's pro drawing with anything with Photoshop or other Illustrator, and he's here international certificate and his NPCRE, and his hobby is memorize Al-Quran. Okay, maybe that's all for me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Baik, alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi washabihi wa tabi'ahum bi ihsan ila yaumiddin, amma ba'd. Okay, before I presenting my presentation, I will introduce myself. Okay, my full name is Nurabbani Kurniawan. You can call me Novendra. I'm from class 10 TKJ or networking class, and I'm school at vocational like school IDN boarding school in Jonggol, Bogor. Okay, and I live in Bekasi, Negara Harapan, Blok BH/22, Distrik Mustika Jaya, East Bekasi. Okay, in this time I want to introduce. I want to presentation about top game in 2017 and 2018. Okay. First game I will presentation is about PUBG. PUBG is okay. PUBG. Maybe this game already knows that many players unknown battleground are called PUBG. Player unknown battleground or PUBG is a multiplayer online battle royale game developed and published by PUBG Corporation. This game was first released in in Windows Store and in Steam. Available released on December 20, 2017. And now PUBG has released in Android like PUBG Mobile and many similar games like PUBG like Rose or Rules of Survival from developer Rose own and Free Fire from Garena. Okay, next the game is Resident Evil Biohazard. Resident Evil Biohazard is a normal Resident Evil. This is a game about a world that being is attacked by a zombie virus outbreak. But this time the story is different. This time it's story about someone who lost someone he thinks really love. Maybe here I will tell a little about this game. In the year 2017, Ethan Winter, a civilian who is drawn to no mentioned plantation in Dufley, Louisiana. Through message from his wife Mia, who allegedly died 3 years ago. While exploring the garden, he found a house that's long been abandoned by its owner. Ethan found his wife Mia in the basement after being saved. Mia became very brutal, and then he got a call from Zoo, who over half before Zoo come to house Ethan already taken hostage by Jack Baker. Jack Baker itself is patriarch or uskup from family Baker Ethan, already taken hostage by Jack and his wife Marguerite and their son Lucas, an elderly woman later catatonic. After tortured several times, he got way out from restraint. Apparently, over investigate him, he contacted with powerful regenerative ability. Okay. Next, this game is Nier Automata. Maybe here I will tell a little about this game. Nier Automata is third-person perspective game and open world environment. Nier Automata is photographed game the beginning of the story 2B and 9S are a supernatural powered man of creation who paved the way for future infiltration into the territory of the machine with the help of his friend Ananam and Pascal 2B and 9S defeating some to the threats of the machine. 9S also learned that humans have become extinct since the near. Even apart from server on the moon that start the NR human history to be a 9S from part the front row. But Virus Logic attack changed Yorha. Yorha is the company that made it unit apart from hostile 2B and 9S, and to be eventually infected with logic virus, saved from Rogue Yorha by A2. To be uploads its memory to its word and task A2 by completing its mission. 9S sees A2 killing 2B and ignores that interaction angrily swears reverse game. A2 continues the 2B mission against the machine. During his history, Pascal Philip was when the engine starts rampaging, and when A2 and Pascal folk machine attacking children in this village committed suicide for fear of being killed. Meanwhile, 9S investigates the tower and its purpose. He's now that your heart is now that your heart Android and the engine are built from the some material, and the tower is preparing to launch something that they consider to be a missile directed at the server on the moon. Then finally gets access to the tower with help Devola and Coppola. They are revealed to be the last and enduring version of Android that trigger the end of humanity. They both are programmed to feel duality constantly and try to make up for their action. When they meet at the top of the tower, A2 reveals the truth about to be the actual designation to A. The Yorha unit designed to repeatedly kill 9S whenever he discovers the truth about humanity and Yorha. To be suffer greatly from his role and wants to help 9S through A2. 9S now driven crazy and infected with logic virus. Challenging A2 to fight, 9S was defeated and A2 first cured him of the logic virus, then sacrificed himself to destroy the tower. Okay, next game is Injustice 2. Okay. 5 years after Superman defeat, Batman and his comrades try to unite the world again. However, a new faction, the Society, made up of criminal pioneered by Gorilla Grodd, Emperor's plans to rule war. Batman was forced to create a new team to combat the Society. He sent the Canary, General, and Harley Quinn 3 to fight them in Gorilla City, where Dr. Fate warned Green Arrow and Black Canary about the threat of entry to the planet. Catwoman, Batman, double against the Society. Red Harley from Gorilla City, Flash and Hal Jordan reunited before joining Batman, who sent the letter to Atlantis to get Aquaman help Minuwe. Black Adam, Wonder Woman, and Supergirl plan to free Cyborg regime. Catwoman and Harley Quinn return to Batcave to free Brother Eye from Brianny, to control and coordinate civilian evacuation effort. Wonder Woman takes Supergirl to Metropolis and openly sharing Batman plans when he is approached to the killing of Cheetah and Harley Quinn Grodd. Just Aquaman and Black Adam with the brains was Black Canary, Green Arrow, and Blue Beetle. After Aquaman killed Grodd, the couple managed to weaken the brain shield enough for Batman and Supergirl to enter. But were arrested, but Batman was saved by Superman. After Superman and Batman defeat the Brainstorms and Swamp, think they were confronted by Dr. Fate. He successfully restored most of the city its original location. While Metropolis and Core City disappear permanently, these heroes are divided into three unique destiny. Batman, Flash, Green Lantern, and Supergirl want to save him to return the rest of the city. Superman, Aquaman, Black Adam, and Wonder Woman want to kill him to eliminate potential threats and use his ship to rebuild regime control over the Earth. Next game is Assassin's Creed Rogue. Okay. Secretary Cormac is a new recruit for the Colonial Brotherhood of Assassins, whose potential is offset by his insubordination while training with the North Atlantic chapter under assassin mentor Achilles. The fun part, he met with assassin Edwell, who broke the news that Haiti port Prince City was destroyed by earthquake. During the search for the temple of precursor, which contained the seed of Eden, with his explorer capturing seed, including the recently accurate Morrigan, Cormac is listened and is investigation to the Templars, entrusts the artifact of precursor and manuscript related to the temple. Posing as a Templar messenger, he gave artifact and manuscript to Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin was experiment with electricity, revealed to the artifact products a map showing the location of the precursor shrines around the world. He identifies one in Lisbon and is sent by Davenport to retrieve the piece of Eden it contains. However, Cormac has begun to question the motives to the assassin after seeing the refusal to engage in dialogue with the Templar. After killing the dying Templar commander, Lawrence Washington, and his conviction was destroyed in Lisbon when his attempt to take piece of Eden triggered an earthquake, destroying the city, currently concluding that a similar sequence of events destroyed Port-au-Prince. Cormac is horrified to learn the Davenport instead to continue the quest of Eden Peace. Despite the danger, he stole the manuscript and tried to escape from Hampstead, but was cornered by members of the Brotherhood, intending to commit suicide by jumping off a Hampstead cliff. She was shot and left to die before he could destroy the manuscript. Now, he finds himself in New York City, acting as judge to crime gang. Their exiled citizen met his Christopher Guest, say recruited his team Morrigan of Assassin and agreed to help his elect allies, despite knowing they were Templar. He was disturbed to learn the assassin had now given up seeking to the peace of Eden, and believed that to them be a threat, committed to the order Hound the Dawn after killing several members of the Colonial Brotherhood assassin and cladding the Leicester, Casagrave, Ada, Hop Jensen, and Louis Joseph Culture de la Ferendi, and Say became the entry member of the order when he was inaugurated by Grandmaster Haytham Kenway. Finally, only two senior members of the assassin in America are alive, Achilles himself, and second commander is Liam O'Brien. Say chess and them both to the Arctic with Haytham. The assassin had found another temple after sending a most of the assassin expedition. Say and Hatham entered the temple for find Liam and Achilles, who had released the artifact where would say had said a means to stabilize the world, not a weapon to control it. However, Achilles attempted to stop Liam from letting cause the artifact to be destroyed. A third quake was triggered as the four men tried to escape. Say and Liam dwelled on the ice, and Liam was badly injured when both fell. Say then walked back into his ship and arrived when Hatham defeated Achilles. Say persuaded Hatham to forgive Achilles for mercy and to enter the knowledge of the temple will not be lost, so the killer will not try to chase them again. Hatham then paralyzed the last American assassin with his pistol, and the temple sailed home. Next, Forerunner. Maybe here I will little about this game. After a natural disaster, the most frightening factor in battle, resource, and territory, Apollyon, bloodthirsty warlord, believed the men of the night, Viking, and samurai had grown weak and wanted to create an all-out war through its manipulation faction. The first commander of the Apollyon war took over the knights of the Blackstone Legion after killing his rival, who fought for people from the land of Asphalt, enabled him to sow the seeds eternal war and create powerful men to overpower the weak. During the Blackstone Legion, they tend to bring this honorable master turned into mercenary. His destiny to court during his time in the Apollyon army, the warden hoped to defend against the Viking robbers of Warborn, but Sun realized after meeting Apollyon that he not caring about protecting people and trying to manipulate his enemies into an endless battle. The second commander of the Raider in Copenhagen, the Viking went fighting among themselves. Jadi is other diminishing. Remains left by Apollyon. This continues until a powerful factor known as the Raider descends from the mountains and begins to unite with soldiers of various clans under the Warborn flag, along with Stingother Warlord, Valkyrie Warriors, Runa, and Hellfire Berserker. First by killing the brutal Raider Ragnar, who stole the little left of those who could not feed themselves, and then saved the daughters who tried to conquer and loot their own people. Orochi, third commander in Mesdrop from Orochi Factor, known as the Emperor Champion, the first and most threatening warrior in the Fajar Empire, intervened in this battle. During an Apollyon quest from Witmungi, Orochi is filled with warden with Orochi looking for Apollyon. After discovering Apollyon, Orochi dwelled and killed him, but not before learning that he wanted to create eternal war, to weed out the weak and create the strongest of men, making them ever more bloodthirsty. Despite her death, Apollyon got what she wanted the armies of all the faction attacking the Blackstone fortress, Knight, Samurai, and Viking alike also on each other, resulting in war lasting 7 years, releasing the war's futility. Iacross and Stingother meet their respective leaders and envoys to end hostilities. So all three people believe that the peace of mind is worth fighting for, and it will make for an unforgettable tale. Okay, next is Nova Legacy. Nova Legacy is game about in the far future. Earth was no longer able to sustain life on its crust because of that. Her satellite called near orbitals were designed and built for people to live on in order to protect themselves. Mankind formed a group called the Near Orbit Vanguard Alliance. The player assumes the role of member of the Near Orbit Vanguard Alliance and defend the satellite against the allies that seek to destroy mankind. Okay, maybe next is Ghost Recon Wildlands. The match took place in Bolivia in July 2019. Bolivia has become the world's largest drug and cocaine producer country. The increase in the strength of the drug cartel concerned the United States government because of the influence of Santa Blanca began to spread outside Bolivia. The last spread came when a bomb targeted the USA embassy in La Paz and its target, Dia Ricardo, again Ricky Sandoval, kidnapped, tortured, and subsequently killed by Santa Blanca. As a result, the United States started Operation Kingslayer, a joint operation between the CIA, DAA, and GSOC. The United States Army dispatched of a special operation unit called Tugas to destroy the cartel and reveal the relationship between Santa Blanca and the local government. Ghost team consists of Ghost leader, Nomad, tactical gunner, Midas, engineer, Hawk, and sniper, Weaver. Ghosts individually make their own way to Bolivia when they land in the province of Petzville. The leader of Qataris 26. The only resistance against Santa Blanca. Qatari Pachi give them their first mission to restore Amaru, and other men whose ideology inspired him to find Qataris 26. Now captured by Santa Blanca, it's thought the Qatari has betrayed them. The Ghost race to the El Sueno mausoleum to capture him. After struggling against rebel and cartel opposition, Ghost and Bowman find the Sauron El Sueno, who has just beheaded Qatari. Although Alsueno surrendered to the ghost, Bowman received what called his exchange for immunity. The historian, depending on whether was completely unpack the cartel. If the remains of the cartel remain, Bowman will execute Alsueno, leading to his dismissal from the CIA and arrested for killing Alsueno, though he doesn't regret doing so. Put the life of Bolivian people and his best friend drink tea over a lucrative cocaine trade. Next game is Wolfenstein 2 The New Colossus. African American athlete and quarterback Joseph Stallion, nickname is Gunslinger Joe, is enslaved by the Nazis and forced to play in regal football match against Aryan teams. Joe eventually became fed up with this team retreatment and retaliates, beating the opposing Aryans and Cosquisio and scoring a goal. He's promptly arrested for his defense, but his captor, sadistic American descent Nazi officer Dr. Roderick Metz, decided to send him to research station Omega to be experimented on. As Joe falls unconscious, he cannot shake the feeling that he has seen Dr. Metz before. Joe then wake up in a cell when hears the anti-Nazi revolution is sweeping across the country and that there is resistance headquartered at the Oak Street Hotel. He escaped his cell and fight his way through the facility, eventually making his way to Oak Street Hotel. However, he is captured by Metze, who closed his side with the Nazi as revenge for the South losing the Civil War. Joe then recognized Metz as the man who arrested his father during the Nazi invasion. Injured, Joe escaped custody again by tackling on his captor out of a window. Joe proceeded to force Metz of the secret police headquarters. Will Metz managed to escape, Joe finds his father and frees him, burning down the secret police headquarters in the process. After making sure his father is safe, Joe pursues Metz across to Midwest to the Toke Pass Center in Kansas City. There he learns that Metz has failed to the famous base in order to utilize a weapon called the sun gun or sun gunner to destroy Midwest and resistance. Joe stows away in spacecraft and make him way to Venus. When his comfort Metz directly, Metz is able to warn Joe and hold him at gunpoint, gloating that the reason he didn't fire the sun gun that isn't operational yet. Joe then gets Maza off guard by tackling him and he throwing him out a window to his death. As Nazi reinforcement arrive, Joe prepared for a last stand. Okay, next game is a nightmare. With a nightmare, a 9-year-old hungry girl named Six is trapped in the mouth. A mysterious ship that severed the sick and powerful creatures desire. Six decides to escape from the harsh bones, experiencing the usual moment of hideous famine. He was soon followed by the Parliament Helper of Mouth, who had captured the children and sent them to a hook conveyor boat overhead. He was finally trapped the hygiene officer after being lured by foot. So he managed to escape after duping the hygiene officer by cutting his arm with a door. 6. Follows the upstairs conveyor belt into the big kitchen operated by the odd twin chefs. The chefs are preparing for a big party and trying to kill Six each time he enters their line of sight. Having managed to avoid it, he finds a way out of the ship. 6 people watch a boat carrying large and obsessed guests who are dressed in wood to a Japanese-style dining room in Mao, which is watched by Lady, the leader express of Mao. 6 make his way more up. Entering the filthy room, the ladies live very luxuriously in an elegant house with many broken mirrors throughout the room. Pursued by Lady, who displays supernatural power, 6 find the mirror for use against the lady in battle. Beat him. 6 approach the lady and beat her neck, kill her, and get her magical power. Down to the dining room, 6 walks along the table with strange black particle spinning around here. When the guests notice his presence, they try to eat it, but suddenly he gasped and died when 6 walked. 6 approached the large door with eye encrusted on it, revealing a hook staircase on the outside wall. Okay, next game is Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. Uncharted Legacy about story in India. Treasure hunter Cole Fraser, he asks the mercenaries Nadine Rose to help him find the legendary ivory of Ganesh, the son of Hindu god Shiva, who lost his fangs while defending his father's temple, a quest that previously consumed Cole own father before, finally claiming his life in the hands of bandits, assisted by a young merchant named Menu, whose father is an Indian soldier. Cole moves past to the rebel group and meets Nadine. Together, they sneak into the office of rebel leader Asaf, who is also after the bunker as if to overthrow India into a civil war, but stole a map made by a known expert pointing toward myths in the ancient Hoysala Empire and digs that acted as a key before escaping Asaf's force. The map takes them to western Tugas of India, where they follow in the footsteps of several towers adorned with Hindu weapons, Ganesh horn, Shiva bulls, and Parasuma axe, which use axe to lift fangs. The trail ultimately leads them to the smaller of to Hoysala capital, Halebidu, whose last remaining emperor is now ordered to be conquered by Persia, apparently all of arrogance. However, they soon learn it actually because the emperor left a false trail. Thus, really, in the bigger capital, Belut, on the way there, they were attacked by Asaf and his men, and after fight, They barely escaped but lost the east, hoping to get back to his. However, while spying on Asaf's train, Nadine sees his old enemy, Samdre, and he reveals his intention to kill Sam. Clue reveals that he worked with him before he was kidnapped, which recruit him to hear Nadine. As Clue, he said before that he did not really know Sam. This came narrowly, but was with for some time, but eventually met immense. After rejoining, they managed to reach Wheeler and managed to navigate some of the puzzle before being captured by Asaf. He takes into the living room where Sam is first clue to use the disc to reveal the facts which are covered in games. In the process, he discovered the Ganesh like Parasuma cut off his face because Shiva gave him an axe to him, and Ganesh did not want to embarrass his father by proving his axe is useless. Along the way, Nadine was shot and angry to find the Asaf work in Sorelin. Sorelin is the group she used to run and hope to take it back after the war. They find agreement between Asaf and Orca, former Nadine lieutenant who now runs Sorelin, where Asaf sells ivory for the big chest that he lost in the train after a fight with Orca driving a helicopter. The three took the helicopter down and met a dying mercenary rival what Asaf did. Like bombing planned to explode in the capital and start a civil war. Right after this, Orca pulled gun to Nadine, but some rescued her. Letting her shoot down Orca, tired of running when the situation become too dangerous. Who convinces the others to help her stop the bomb. Chloe and Nadine decide to go into business together with Sam Ref with her at their intention to hand the fangs of the ministry or kill terrorists is impossible to pay them a lot of money. Okay. Next is Legend Heroes of Spring. The score. The main story revolves around the player character and some police against the head of named Naarifin who has invaded the heart of the empire. The head of empire Troy Hill. The player character called the Forgotten Hero has to fight various hazards along the way to reaching the White Cloud Tower, where Narif plans to release demon-like creatures called Dead Hydra in an attempt to fulfill an Elder Scroll prophecy called to Kali. Along the way, the player makes various choices determining how the story unfolds again as it were. Okay. Next is Mass Effect Andromeda. In 2819, after traveling 654 years on Hyperion, player woke up in the Helios cluster of the Andromeda galaxy. Hyperion detects a dark energy cloud called Forge. Hyperion reaching Nexus, finding it implanted and no other are visible the crew learned from the next leadership that the worlds in Andromeda have become unfriendly and that the initiative has been stranded on horrible, suffering civil unrest and supply shortage. As the new Pathfinder on Mandarin, Ryder is tasked with finding a suitable world of colonization and revealing the fate of the other house. Ryder also commissioned a spaceship Tempest, which was piloted by Kalajet and accompanied by veterans. Ryder's first stop on the quest was Eos. Eos, a desert planet, was polluted by radiation, where magma drag and pressure desire or TB joined the crew. With the help of Sam, Ryder opened the time door, which starts terraforming space system gradually fix the planet ecosystem to a more precise level. The newly improved planetary viability allows Ryder to establish a successful Andromeda outpost. Ryder also found a structure that showed the location of other worlds that may have similar structure. The deduction that the world can support the initiative. On the way another system, Tempest runs into the kid fleet and is forced to escape via scourge, suffering significant damage. The ship landed on ice planet in contact with a new alien species, Angara, which installs resistance to the Cat Rider. Prof the initiative goodwill by helping Angara onto other planets. In addition to recruiting members of their space, Jala Madaraf to the Tempest crew, Ryder also saved the high-level Mosaic Java from the Cat facility, discovering in the process that Cat has turned the angel into more process of genetic modification known as exaltation. Moses bring Ryder to Ice Fall, knowing that the kid leader, Archon, possesses an object called Meridian, which can control the zones and by extension the worlds connected to it. Ryder wanting to stop Cat, strike the ship and discover the Cat has a Captain Up service and has experimented with various species of initiative. Ryder free the ark and studies the location of Meridian. Ryder then proceed to legalize location of Meridian, which has relieved as the ancient of city remnant. Ryder discovered the Meridian basin like ball-like construction was taken from the city, severed its relationship with the fall and made the planet uninhabitable. Arson launcher launched an attack on Hyperion, severing some from Ryder, while also capturing Ryder's brother, the same implant who wants to use paperwork of Meridian. Ryder successfully activating the remnant fleet along with other allied force made an attack on the kid flag, the world of Meridian. The Ryder twins were to liberate Cat. Finally, decision Arson from the Meridian system and killing him in the process. Ryder was held as a hero, having turned on Meridian and made the cluster more suitable for completion. Hyperion, after an emergency landing to Meridian, sailed on the planet on the next mission. Star Wars. And next is Star Wars Battlefront from EA Games. The first is when interrogated for the Coda unlock Imperial transmission aborts the unquestionable known calamari, he activates his droid, which sneaks into his cell and frees him. Aiden let himself be called to remove the Imperial transmission, which will reveal the Emperor plan in Endor. He managed to remove it, then escaped from the ship, launching himself into the room where he was intercepted by Corpus. The flagship of Informed Squad, Aiden confirmed the mission success to Gideon Hans and Del Miko, another member of Admiral Fersh's squad, confirming to Aiden that the Emperor has died. A direct messenger displaying the hologram of the Emperor is finally command to begin Operation Cinder. Admiral Fershus sent Eden to the Imperial shipyard to protect Mofreti and his Dauntless Star Destroyer. To host experimental satellites vital to successful Operation Cinder. The Dauntless was attacked by Royal Star Cruiser, but Eden was able to ride it with host and disable his ion cannon. After that, they are ordered to attack the Imperial shipyard. Shipyard to free Star Destroyer from the locked camps. Afterwards, Dauntless fell on the rebel ship. The destroying Immigration and Infamous Squad were sent Takadana to find Han Solo, who took Imperial defector carrying important data in Hobbs' frame cassette and frame movies. The data also revealed that Admiral the Admiral Tertial led Imperial operation in Bensin and Solus. Aiden and the infantry ship with the attention of catching Admiral Tertial, but he and half managed to escape. Meanwhile, Lando investigated the jets of the Empire hidden weapons in Solus, only to find the weapon factory he destroyed. The operation paralyzed the Imperial fleet, which made it descending in Jakku. During the battle, Eden shoot down Hans and installed FS Crater. Intending to save his father, Admiral Fershel decided to go down with his ship. Felt obliged to die with the Empire, he fought for protection. Instead, he urged Eden to run away and live a new life. Praising him for saving the weakness of the Empire and the escape pod, and they needed to be there at the end of battle, but as the battle marks the end of the Galactic Empire. Phil visits the letter. Later, Bill was arrested in Pilio by the Great Protectorate, who handed him over to General Ren and the First Order. Ren used force to interrogate them about the location of the map that leads the Luke Skywalker. After Ren supposed that he left Dell in as prisoner whose rebels set down in Magic. House Riddle's success. He lives Dell in House prisoner who survives shutdown in Magic. Riddles is discussed Dell choosing to father a doctor with Aiden rather than being a soldier and killing him. But not before Dell warns him to not confront Eden, has to warn Slave and the Republican cannot know about Project Awakening, and order him to leave Corvus and arm Pirlo as a bait to Lord Eden of hiding. Okay, next game is Fortnite. Okay, Fortnite. Story is one day, 98% of our population suddenly disappeared, and the remaining population for the skies covered in dense cloud. Creating things on the drop hearts, humanoid zombie-like creatures that attack living survivor found way to construct storm shield. Felt that the storm cloud fall immediately overhead, reduced to attack from us, and use the setup server base across the globe. The player is commander of one of this place charged with going all of the storm cell find the resource survivor, and other allies to help expand their storm cell and find a way to return Earth in its normal size. Okay, maybe stop here. Next is Team Fortress. Team Fortress to features and playable class categories into the roles offense, defense, and support C. Each class has strength and weakness and must work with other classes to be efficient, encouraging strategy and teamwork. Each class has three weapons, primary weapon, common and or unique secondary weapon, and unique melee weapon offense. Part 1 Offense. The score is a jockey, first talking baseball fan, and is returned from Boston, who practiced running to beat his mad dog sibling to Frey. He is a fast character who is armed by default with scattergun, a pistol, and aluminum baseball bat. The score can double jump and capture counterpoint and force payloads twist as fast as other class. As a turn off, he has long health. So, the soldier is but the second slowest class in the game, and the class with second highest health after hit weapon guys, gymnastic American military man hailing from the Midwest. Despite the fact that he was never actually in the reality. The soldier is armed by default with a rocket launcher, shotgun, and falling sword. The soldier can use his rocket launcher to rocket jump and to higher position at the cost of sample. 3. The payroll. His metal is unstable promania of unknown gain of origin. Create infrared rather than sweep the first moving gas mask. By default, they armed with shotgun, fire axe, and homemade flamethrower. It can set them on fire. It can also produce a blast of compressed air to knock away nearby enemies projectile and extinguish burning teammates. Part 2. Defense. The demo man is a black one-eyed alcoholic Scotsman from Liverpool, armed by default with a glass bottle and grenade and sticky bomb launcher. The demo man can use his explosives to provide indirect fire and set traps. The demo man, much like the soldier with his rocket launcher, is capable of using his sticky bomb launcher to sticky jump at the cost of some health. So, the heavy weapon guys, or simply the heavy, is a large Russian from Zugur mountain of the USSR. Heavy in stature and accent and obsessed with firepower. So he is the slowest class. He can sustain and deal immense amount of damage. His default weapon consists his fist, shotgun, and enormous minigun that affectionately refers to session. According to himself, it costs from 100,000 fire his weapon for 12 seconds. The engineer is still instructor good old boy from the Texas. The engineer can be instructor to support his team, like a sentry gun for defending K point, a health and ammunition dispenser, and a teleporter. The default is armed with a standard shotgun, a pistol, and wrench. There is also used to repair, upgrade, and speed up construction his building. Construction paid up to build it. He can also remotely destroy his structure using destruction PDA. Or 3. Support. The medic is German doctor from Stuttgart with a little regard from Hippocratic Oath. The medic or minigun has teammate and graduate with Ubercharge. Activation. The Ubercharge grant goes ranging to the temporary vulnerability of the medic and the potential patients to wear the critical hits. Triple damage that ignores system for the weapon. Better to the patient depending on which minigun is selected. By default, the medic is also equipped with an airport, sling gun, and bone saw for situations in which his teammates can protect him. He kept Dove's pet, one of which is named Archimedes, and EF2 sword. It discovered that a dove accidentally left inside the squad body. Is because of the weapon squad dies. There is a probability that a bird will fly out of his corpse. The sniper is a cheerful New Zealand character based in Australian outback. Equipped by default with a laser signal sniper rifle to shoot enemies from above. His weapon has no damage fall of speed. By default, he also carries a submachine gun and cookie for close combat. Spire is a French double again equipped with power tools, including a cloaking device, display a watch, electronic saber used to sabotage and potentially destroy enemy engineer building. And a device hidden in secret caves that enable him to dismiss enemy players. Armed by default with a revolver, the spy can also use his butterfly knife to stab enemies in the back or side. Now, backstab, which instantly kills the useless the enemy has visibility even on the such as the bomb. Atomic punch or medic Ubercharge. Okay, next is Rainbow Six. Rainbow Six is described in Rainbow as an international counter-terrorism operation hosted by NATO and funded by money funded through the U.S. Department of the Interior. The base of operation for Rainbow is located in Hertford, England, at the time home to the SAS. Due to the United Kingdom being one of the most accessible countries in the world and having one of the world's most special force unit, most the character Rainbow Six are American or British stuff in NATO countries of France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Canada, and the NATO allies of Israel have at least one representative each. Tensi describes the Rainbow Six having one director who oversees the entire operation and one deputy director who is second in command Rainbow is portrayed as the blacker than black operation, and it works off a very own intelligence service which has intelligent contact all over the world in the book. When the rainbow is called upon for help from another country government to deal with terrorist situations, usually one of the two teams will be saved, but in some situations both will be saved. Both teams have an officer or zero. Then fourth, equivalent as team leader, senior NCO E9 or equivalent as second in command, not including the team leader. Each team is made of 10 men. Rainbow also has started its weapon kit. Its team has this weapon. In the video game, Rainbow is portrayed differently. John Clark is still the leader for most of the series, but is supported by a set of other case advisors who vary from game to the game. As our Rainbow Sphere, the unit has 30 operatives, including members from NATO countries from non-NATO countries. For each mission, a maximum 8 operatives can be split into a maximum 14. Weapon, uniform, and equipment are less standardized and are instead chosen to suit the operative and the mission. Okay, next is data 2. Data 2 fits 2 teams of 5 players each. The left team is called Radiant and the right hand team is called Dive. Both of which have the main headquarters called Ancient. To the first team to destroy the Ancient opponent is the winner. The path called Lance, linking both the Ancient and the spawn troops or creep. A burst appears every 30 seconds in the specway. Its length has three towers that will attack nearby heroes or creeps called tower. In the last tower there are 2 barracks. First melee barracks and 2 ranged barracks. If melee barracks or ranged barracks are destroyed, then enemy will get stronger, called super melee creep or super ranger creep, but with creep along the battle to the opponent assets. In addition to the existing script on the land, to add experience to increase level and collect wealth, some and can also farming or creeping the walls by killing natural creeps or ancient creeps. To gain immortality, the creeps the change of 1 more life when killed by using immortal aegis. The player must be able to defeat the Rosen, the forest monster in the trench line that has very strong armor. In the ditch, there are runs such as Storm Damage, SD, Cast, Bounty, Invisible, and Arkham, which appear is periodically every 2 minutes. Each player can control a unit character called Hero selected at the beginning of the game. There are over maybe 100 heroes of different types: strength, ability, and intelligence. Each hero has 4 skills, some have more, active or passive, by killing creeps, leveling up, buying items, and making strategic decisions. The player will try to explore the map to destroy his opponent ancient. Okay, next is Arena of Valor. First is another is for classic and maps 5/9 versus 5 opponents. The map in this game has 4 forest area, 3 islands, ancient tower of defense, and 2 very powerful boss. This certainly reflects the standard of classic map for mobile games. This game press the standard 5 to 5 because it makes it more standard and classic like mobile games in general, like Dota 2. 2. Victory gained by cooperation and strategy. Chess of character types in this game, there are many ranging from tanks, mage, marksman, assassin, and support, and many more. This makes you really use the cooperation and strategy to achieve a victory. 3. The judge battle ability is everything. In this game, there is no turn to pay to win, no level of status or training here and so forth. All determined from the ability and build item, abilities and abilities. It's really a fair game and it reflects the real mobile code. So, the control are simple and easy to learn. The 4. The control are simple and easy to learn. The control content in this game is very simple. Analog on the left and the ability button on the right. You only need to finger thumb to play this game. Whereas the control of this game will not be difficult for you because you will also be assisted with an auto lock system that makes it most accurate. 5. 10 second making and 10 minute match. Matchmaking in this game is very short, which only takes 10 seconds. The game was also not so long, which is only the range of 10 minutes. So it really suits this game to be played enough under the smartphone. This game is very exciting, but the weight of the game itself is not too heavy. 6. Smart AI. This legend mobile game provides all that has no intelligence from a player. The smart AI is ready to illuminate the game is in case of unwanted things, such as disconnect or example. But you do not have to worry. If you are disconnected from the game, you can reconnect in just a few seconds with your connection record is back correctly properly. Okay, next is Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider. The gameplay Tomb Raider is primarily based around action adventure framework with Lara navigating environment and solving mechanical environment puzzle in addition to fighting enemies and avoiding traps. This puzzle primarily set within ancient tombs and temple and can exit across multiple rooms and areas within a level. Lara could also swim through water rarity in games to time that has continued throughout the series. According to original software engineering and later studio manager Kevin Rumori, the original setup of interlinking room was inspired by Egyptian multi-room tombs, particularly the tomb of Tutankhamun. The feel of the gameplay was intended to echo that of the 1996 986 video game war. Prince of Persia is the original game that utilizes a chain control setup where two buttons pushing here forward and back and two buttons sitting here left and right, and its combat not automatically locked onto enemies when they come within range. The camera automatically adjusts depending on lot of action, but default to a third-person perspective in most distant instances. The basic formula remained unchanged to the first series of game. Angels. Darkness also added stealth elements. Further, the control scheme character movement was redesigned to provide a smooth and fluid experience. One of the key elements present was how button to different action clearly transitioned into different action, along with the smooth being incorporated into combat to create effects such as stunning or knocking down enemies. Quick time events were also added into certain segment within each level, and many of the puzzle were based around so ticket in game. Anniversary, while going through the same level of the original game, was rebuilt using the gameplay and environmental puzzle of the Legend for Underworld. The gameplay was redesigned around press to stuff and help with the terms of World Arena. Using this setup, they created a greater variety of and greater interaction with the environment, along with the involving combat, the gameplay, another. Okay, next, the gameplay underwent another major change for 2013. Gameplay alternate from progression through and then refers to navigating an open world with hunting for surplus, upgrading equipment and weapon become a key part of gameplay. The combat was heavy segment to be similar to the actual sense previous transmission based law mechanism will replace by free roaming AI. Rest of the Tomb Raider built on the reward foundation at the dynamic winner system and rank prediction streaming. Deal. Harus ngomong nih. Okay, next is Titanfall. Notable is the military smart aircraft perform a raid on full mining planet to support the civilian fleet is assigned to. During the battle, the military ship's red eye is attacked by the EMC. Whether the ship is destroyed or saved is dependent on which team, the EMC or militia, wins the battle. Regardless, Sarah and Miss, the leaders of the militia, discuss that they need more leaders because they alone cannot manage the troops efficiently. After the raid, the EMC chased the militia to the northern planet of Troy, where the militia attempt to hide. The EMC encounters a colony of humans on the planet which was thought to have been uninhabited place. The leader of the EMC ground troops decided to use the opportunity to test their new model of war machine. War machine. Troops specters. After sadistically slaughtering the majority of the colony, the militia decides to step in and help. A battle ensues in the colony during which both sides are contacted by a soldier named McAllen, the apparent leader of the colony, who expressed outrage is destruction. The military chased McAllen to the nearby wreckage of an EMC ship, the Odyssey. He reveals the ship is his and that he used to work for the EMC but mutinied. The colony had been made up of the Odyssey crew. Recognizing the newbie cause of the military, he agrees to lead the faction against the EMC. His first action as the leader of the military is to retrieve back the bunker and expert dropship pilot and all wingmen of McAllen. McAllen use Baker's knowledge of hidden EMC base to find the boneyard. And EMC base state of the art wildlife repulsor technology. A battle ensues at this base, and the EMC eventually scuttled, but not before the military gathered enough intelligence to produce a device which can disable the repulsor technology. To test this device, called the XP, the media identified EMC Airbus Sierra. They successfully managed to disable the base defense, leaving it vulnerable to attack from hostile alien fauna. The military employed the same tactic again at Demeter, a critical refueling station for the EMC that allowed it to gain fresh troops and supplies from the core system. When the Battle of Demeter began, McClellan entrusted to assist a group of military pilots who were stranded outside of their internet troop zone. He enters the facility and is chased by Bliss, who intends to kill him. During the battle, it becomes apparent that the military will not be able to successfully activate the protocol that will cause the base to self-destruct. McClellan offers to destroy the base manually by causing a meltdown. It is Chandrapur, much to the horror of Sarah and Liz. Liz abandons McClellan when he enters the core to avoid the lethal radiation. McClellan ordered the Marauder Corps to flee. Spyglass Jenny's evacuation to all the EMC group, the ground troops, except for Miss, who evacuated just in time. In his final moment, McClellan remained grave of his letting McClellan go when he took the Aussie and orders Graves to leave militia on he is dead. Graves is moved by McClellan boards and abandoned in the EMC shortly after Demeter and McClellan are destroyed in massive explosion. A month later, Graves is leading the militia and Bliss has been promoted within the EMC. During one-on-one confrontation over radio, Bliss denounces Graves for being a traitor and forced to continue fighting the militia. Okay, next, Atlas. Here, Atlas 1 is divided into two stories. First, original, and two, whistleblower. First, I will tell you about the original story. Freelance investigate journalist Miles Observer received an anonymous email that inhuman experiments are being conducted among massive asylum, private psychiatric hospital owned by the notoriously unethical Murkoff Corporation. About entering, Miles is shocked to discover it half insect and literate with the mutilated corpus of the staff. He is informed by a dying SWAT officer that one massive deranged patients, known as variants, have escaped and free the roaming ground. Bettering Murkoff empires, the officer implores him to leave, but find he cannot return the way he came and must crash. As man searches for an exit, he is surprised by a hulking friend named Chris Walker, who hurls him through a window into the lobby, knocking him unconscious. While incapacitated, Miles encountered Father Martin Chamber, a self-anointed priest with schizotypal personality disorder who claims Mills in his apostle and sabotage his escape by cutting off power to the front doors. Miles restore power, but the Father Martin ambles and injects him with anesthetic. He saw Mills' footage of the Wall Rider, a supernatural creature killing doctor and patient alike, which he claimed is responsible for the Elysium ransackings. Regaining consciousness, Miles find himself trapped in the decoying cell block file with catatonic and demented patients. He managed to escape through the sewer to the main wards. Pursued by Walker and two cannibalistic variants, only to be captured and formed. The former Murkoff executive Rick Trader, who is fictitious similarly as the other inmates, tracks strap Mills to the wheelchair and amputates the finger and prepared to the dock the finger and to the finger with the sorry and amputated to finger and prepares to the descent to his tongue and genitals. However, Miles managed to escape when Trader left him alone for a moment. After fleeing to the elevator, Miles activates a inadvertently crosses Trader between floors. Miles went further into the hospital, reconvenes with Father Martin, who tells him who tell him go to the chapel, reaching another terminal strand that the Wall Rider was created by Dr. Rudolf Gustav Wernicke, a German scientist brought to the United States for Operation Paperclip. Wernicke believed that intensive dam therapy conducted on physiologically traumatic patient called conic swarm on nanites into a single malevolent being. Miles eventually finds Father Martin crucified and self-immolated in the chapel. Having Miles the key to the atrium elevator, he instead will take Miles to freedom. After evading Walker in the hallways, Miles takes the elevator, but instead arriving in the lobby, descend into the subterranean laboratory where he finds Wall Rider. This gets him until Walker arrives to kill Miles, only to be brutally murdered himself by the Wall Rider. Miles then finds an agate Wernicke, confirming that the Wall Rider is biotechnological entity controlled by Billy Hope. Billy Hope is comatose subject of Murkoff experiment. He ordered Miles to determine Hope life support to hopefully disable the Wall Rider. Miles does, however, just before Billy dies, the Wall Rider attacks Miles and murders itself with Miles' body on his way out of the laboratory. Murkoff paramilitary division led by Wernicke stopped Miles and his track through and tried to kill him. Horrified, Wernicke realized that Miles is the Wall Rider new host. The screen fades to black as the Wall Rider kills the soldier. Okay, next then we proceed to the whistleblower story. Well, Prague is a software engineer working at non-massive Israel for Murkoff. His job entails maintaining the morphogenic engine with control logic dreaming and comatose individuals. After several experiences working directly with the engine on a comfortable sorter, he sends an anonymous email to a reporter mail observed to expose the corporation. Shortly afterward, Park is summoned to underground labs operation center to debug a monitoring system. When he returned, his supervisor Jeremy then subject him to the morphogenic engine. After discovering his email, however, after Walter unleashed the catastrophe, which leads the event in the main story. Park escaped and take a cam recorder. He runs to the increasingly decrepit facility as surviving guards and medical personnel try to evade the newly freed patent while searching for a shortwave radio that he can use to contact the authorities. During this time, he has to constantly edit a bearded cannibal named Frank Manera, who wields an electric bonesaw and unsuccessfully tries to murder him in many ways, including trapping him in furnace. Just a Park managed to find working radio transmitter, let repairs and attack Park. Destroying the transmitter, he begins to choke Park with a button wheel, beating him for not keeping his mouth shut. Upon meeting Chris Walker coming there with him to die, but Park escaped from Walker through a window. Park eventually jumps into a attic where Dennis, a disruptive variant, got of the captor and offered him to Eddie Gluskin, whom he calls the Groom. Park escaped from Dennis and inhaled Gluskin but fails down an elevator set and injured his leg, releasing him to Olive, ultimately will Gluskin to Captain Park, who then witnessed Gluskin sexually mutilate man because he seeks to create the perfect bride. Park decides to up the table for mutilation when another prisoner attacked Gluskin. Having escaped after killing the other prisoner, Gluskin returned to Hank Park in gymnasium with his other victims. But during the struggle, he became entangled in his pulley system and implanted to a lost metal bar. At daybreak, Murkoff paramilitary teams arrived to Aslan, intent on killing anything they see. Park slipped past them and heckles for the main lobby. There, he finds a grimly one-god player who stabs him suddenly. Suddenly, insisting that no one can know the truth about non-massive, but the warlord kills him before he can finish Park off. Park then stumbles out the open door and towards mass upstairs jeeps, which is turning style idling near the main gates. He puts the jeep into gear and drives through both gate smells. Now the warrior house help him escape. In the epilogue, Park is sitting at a laptop with the videos ready uploaded to expose the Murkoff Corporation initiative from him that it will be more than enough to win. Enough to win. And Murkoff, but is warned that they will then seek to destroy him and his family despite hesitation. Park upload the file and just close the laptop. Next is Friday the 13th game. Friday the 13th game. The game primary character is Jason Voorhees. Jason. The series' most recurring antagonists, a different version of Jason, are played based on his appearance from the second, third, fourth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth films. The next game and makeup artist Tom Savage on Jason created exclusively for backers on the game. Each Jason has his own strengths and weaknesses, and many also have different weapons. Additionally, players have the option of selecting Roy Burns, the Jason copycat killer from the fifth film, who is referred as Part 5 Jason. There are 13 playable counselors in the game, each of whom have their own strength and weakness. Original counselors created for the game are Adam Palomino, Robbie Damon, A.G. Jason, or Marjorie, Brandon Bugsy Wilson, or Jenna Robinson, Chad Kenningston, or Benjamin Diskin, Deborah Kim, or Christina V, Eric J.R. Lachapa, or Benjamin Diskin, Jamie Zimmer, or Christina Kleber, Kelly Riddle, or Robbie Damon, Mitch Floyd, or which Floyd, Tiffany Fox, or Jeremy Lake, and Vanessa Jones, or Novendra from the films apart Carter Sheldon, Sally Finkelstein, or Lady Zeron and Fox. Also playable is Tommy Jarvis, Tom Matthews, the protagonist of the fourth, fifth, and sixth film, who assists the counselor who, when contacted from a randomly placed radio, he is closed by a randomly selected player on the counselor's side whose previous character was either killed or escaped in addition to having perfect statistics and being immediately equipped with a shotgun, pocket knife, and first aid spray. Tommy is the only character capable of killing Jason. Next game is Alex. Morgan was planet looking to the future, and a comet hit the planet, causing massive destruction. Those who survive are now trapped in battle to survive, and struggle to decide the fate of the planet. At the center of this lake is the element Alex, precious and limited resources that arrive with the meteor which can power magic if magical power are discovered into new. Different from the protagonist is former member of the Alps who consume Alex as a way to read themselves of emotion and enable them to make decisions based on cold logic alone. Recovering from a crash in his glider jet, the protagonist goes to withdrawal from Alex, except his life, and classified as a traitor to the Alps. The central conflict of the story will be the player character history with the Alps and the need to hide his former identity from the faction he previously fought with. The player can cooperate him with and eventually join one of three factions in the game. The Berserker have renounced modern technology and use of Alex, instead finding a way to purify substance into mana to wave magic and restore life to another. The clerics fanatically worship God called Kalan and operate like a religious police that where consuming Alex is explicitly forbidden, but it is used to power conflict war technologies. The outlaws have no formal leadership and operate with a survival of the 50s mentally, using improves the deadly weapon and consume Alex in the form of special stimulant drugs. Okay, this game is Outlast 2. Outlast 2. Black Regiment and investigative journalist and cameraman working alongside his wife Lee. Crestland in the super region of the Coconino Country region of Arizona will follow mysterious murder of a young pregnant woman known only as Jane. When he wakes up after the crash, Black finds the feel of the helicopter skin and crucified and his wife missing. Black makes his way up to a Nurabbani temple gate where he learns that the town has sacrificed all their children in the name of God. Blake eventually locates Lee in chapel, captured by a cult led by Papa Sullivan Knott. Knott claims the temple gate lies on the mouth of hell and deadly pregnant with Antichrist. They escape the chapel but Lee falters. Suffering the stomach cramps, the couple are severed when Lee is kidnapped by a headache. A rival called Who is the hashtag the end of days and their leader fall. Black is rescued by a man Ethan who has left not cause. He tells Black that not grabs the woman of Temple Gate and once they are pregnant order them executed on suspicion of carrying the Antichrist. Finn is fed for his daughter Annalie. Ethan convinces her to flee, and she becomes to Jane that Black and Lynn were investigating as they press under Ethan's house. Martha, an imposing woman wielding a pickaxe and who is one of the executioners, breaks into the home and kills Ethan after accusing him of heresy. Black fails to another chapel where he learns from a tortured heretic being interrogated by Knott that he is imprisoned in the mines under Temple Gate. Throughout his journey, Black suffered from progressively more disturbing hallucination based on childhood, while pursued by grotesque monster. The hallucination gradually reveals the events surrounding the dead Black and Lynn childhood friend Jessica Gray and their Catholic elementary school. Black and Jessica will stay late at their school were called by one of their teachers, Father Lotamis, who is implied to have been molesting Jessica. Lotamis sent Black away. But as Black was about to leave the school, he heard Jessica scream and saw her wake. Next is The Witcher. The Witcher, the game tells the story of Geralt of Rivia, The Witcher, a genetically enhanced human with special powers trying to slay monsters. The Witcher contains 3 different paths, which 3 affect game storyline. The spark are alliance with the societal guerrilla fighting group of elves and other non-humans, alliance with Order of Flaming Rose, whose may protect the country of Temeria, or alliance with the Nether Road to maintain the Witcher neutrality. In the game opening cutscene, the Geralt is tasked with carrying Kay Foltest's daughter, Prince Ada, of course, that transformed her into feral monster. Years later, a group of witches find amnesia girl skills in field and take him to the witch's stronghold or Kurniawan. As he struggled to recall his memories, the castle is attacked by a gang of bandits named of Salamander. The witches and sorcerers marigold battle the invaders, but they make other Jeff and the assassin professor escape with the mutagenic potion that kinetically after the Witcher head off in different directions to find information on the salamander. Geralt looking over Fizima's dilapidated cemetery. Geralt has sought to Fizima, capital of Temeria and where Foltest reigned. On the Orskit, he meets a magically gifted child called Alfie and learns that Fizima is in quarantine. To obtain a pass, Geralt defeats a hellhound plugging the Orskit, but is arrested upon trying to enter Fizima. Geralt ventures to kill a monster in the sewers in exchange for his freedom from jail and emerges in Fizima's temple quarter. With the help of private investigator, Geralt pursues multiple leads on the salamander and the witnesses, raising tension between the other on the flaming rose and society. After a confrontation with other Jeff and the professor, Geralt is knocked unconscious and saved by Triss, who invites him to a party of high-standing officials in Fizima Trade Quarter. There, Geralt meets Princess Ada and gains several new leads on Salamander business front, as the Order and the Society grow bolder in their efforts. Geralt finds out more about Alfin's power and vision while taking down Salamander operation. Geralt finally assaults Salamander base in Fizima with help either the Order or the Society to kill the Professor, but finds himself surrounded by royal guard after escaping. Ada, who has been forging royal edict in Foltest's absence, declares she must kill him to conceal her treachery, but Tree still aborts him to a village on the other side of Fizima Lake. Geralt and his friend Dandelion find some unsteady peace while taking care of Alvin, helping with problems surrounding an ill-fated wedding and negotiating between the village and the inhabitants of Aquatic City. Eventually, however, the conflict between the Order and the Society threatens the village, forcing Geralt to finally pick a side or make enemies of both factions. The scared Alvin mysteriously disappears in a flash, and Geralt and Dandelion decide to sail back to Fizima to end Salamander. Foltest finally returns and retakes control of his castle, but at the same time civil war was broken out. The Society have caused an uprising, and the Order of the Flaming Rose has responded by killing non-human with a little discord. Depending on which ship Geralt took in the previous battle, he must either help the knight on the elves in the battle or assist nurse in Foyle Hospital. He also deals with Ada, who has suffered from a relapse of health course, after which the Grateful King disclosed clues about Azarjan's location. Storming the main Salamander base with his allies, Geralt finally kills the evil Nick, but is shocked to learn that he Grandmaster of the Order of the Flaming Rose is the mastermind behind Salamander mutation program. With most Knight of the Order With most like of the Order and their mutants now entering Oakland Rebellion, the king again turned to Geralt with a contract to kill Grandmaster. Upon being confronted, the Grandmaster tries to pursue Geralt of his greater plan to save humanity from properties of world-consuming ice. The skeptical Geralt is chaos to icy wasteland illusion by Grandmaster, who is tricking simulation to Alvin. Geralt successfully defeats him and then approached by the king of the wild hunt in Spectre form. To call the Grandmaster Soul, Spectre warns Geralt of the impending events or fight him and disappear, upon which Geralt murder the Grandmaster and escape the illusion. In the ending, Katsken, a man with Witcher vertical pupils attempts to assassinate Voltex, but is trapped by Geralt, leading directly into Witcher 2, Assassin of Kings. Okay, next is Paladin. Paladin. Here I will just give some information about hero class. First, hero class is frontline. Heroes who serve as the anchor of the team, holding the front and protecting their allies. With high hero pulse and shielding capabilities, frontline champions excel at blocking enemy fire and disrupting enemy objective captures. 2. Damage. Heroes who possess reliable and consistent damage output or large burst damage potential. The damage coupled with average health pulse and decent mobility make damage champion ideal for scaling missions and extended firefights. 3. 3. Support. Champion with high utility and healing abilities, the backbone of anything. Due to their healing capabilities that keep their allies in the fight. Support champions are invaluable allies. 4. Flank. Champion who excel at traversing the battlefield and getting behind enemy lines, eliminating vulnerable key targets. While most flank heroes are relatively frail, having lower health pulse and their any unroll. Their excellent mobility and self-sustain provide them with the means of escape and survival. And in this side, I want some information about game modes. There are different gameplay modes for Paladin. First, game mode C. The main Paladin game mode to team race against each other to capture the map central capture point, and if successful, push a payload that spawns from it to the enemy base. The successful push or capture gains 1 point. The first team to 4 points win the game. So, onslaught. Team battle offer layered combat in an attempt to checkpoint control and earn points, along with holding uncontested presence on the counterpoint. Slaying enemy players also scores points for the team. Akin to a team deathmatch, killing an enemy scores the team 5 points. While holding control over the combat earn the team 1 point per second. The first team to reach maybe 400 points, or the team with the most points after 10 minutes wins the game. 3. Deathmatch. A classic game mode in most first-person shooter game where the team fight against each other to score kill. The first team to 40 kills win the game. 5. 4. Test map. An additional game mode accessible in the casual section. Players can play untested maps that may be implemented into the game and give their rating for the map. The objective for test maps for sick and team deathmatch and the maps available are rotated by every major patch. This mode was no longer available, but is not used when this change occurred. due to the patch notes not revealing this information. Next is game mode-nya payload. The attacking team payload. The attacking team is tasked with escorting a payload through an extended railroad track to push it as far as they can, or the end goal. While the defending team thwarts their progress, push free is held if the the defending team thwarts their progress. A push is held if the both teams engage in combat near the payload and it slowly moves backward if no one on attacking the team is nearby to push it. Top push progress team has accumulated is not lost. Once time runs out or if the payload is pushed to destination, team switch attack or defense roles. The winner is determined by the team that push the payload and the voters the attacking team setting the bar in the first round. If the attacking team in the second round are able to push the payload the same distance, the first team, the second win the game. This is survival. Teams try to outlast each other relatively small map with no respawning until the next round, all the while avoiding deadly wave that close in from the router edge of the map. The fog deals percentage based damage of a champion health and negates all healing while a champion is in it. Foiling long term small tactic, the fog start at the edge of map. It starts closing in after short delay until it reaches the map center, where any surviving champion are forced to battle. To gain point, one team must eliminate the entire enemy team. The first team to 5 points win the game. Co-op. Player versus environment game mode. A team of 5 face off against an all-control team that possesses extremely large and high damaging attack, as well as modified abilities. The objective in each PvE map vary from capturing an objective in SIG game. Furthermore, is simplified so that only capturing the only is necessary or survival game. Next is Paladin Battleground. Battleground is the first hero shooter battle royale game. Its team will spawn onto Aztec map is 300 times the size of the largest SIG map. The last team for standing win, and that is not easy with 100 players. The game is about survival the 50s. Next game is Attack on Titan. In 845, when Aaron was just 10 years old, the colossal Titan suddenly appeared like enough to breach the wall. It allowed other Titans to rampage through the city. One of them at Carla, Aaron's mother, with the so-called armored Titan now preventing access while Maria was abandoned and humanity were forced to fall back to Walrus. Having lost his family, his calm, and his dream, Aaron's were raving on the Titan, aiming to become a member of Sekolah regiment. He joined the 104 Cadet Corps. 3 years after Aaron enlisted, the Cold Titan suddenly appeared again. Aaron tried to fight it alone but failed to defeat it. He returned to headquarters and then took spot of himself. But the mission was failed with Aaron suffering a terrible injury to his leg and many soldiers being killed. When Armin was about to eaten by a Titan, Aaron sacrificed his life to save him. Immediately before the Trust district wall was destroyed by the Colossal Titan, elite members of Scout Regiment were on mission outside the wall. The principal role of the Scotland regiment was to scout beyond the wall, seeking a way to back old Maria, which was lost 5 years previously, setting up supply base in destroyed town and village. They sought to secure a route for left force to make their way to Singasina district, where the wall was destroyed, fighting with the Titan outside the wall as they go. They sought to secure the road while making new discoveries along the way. The brave resistance overrode the garrison regiment, combined with the return of Scott regiment, was enough to keep walls safe from the Titans. Within the walls, however, the same chaos descended as was experienced when Maria was lost 5 years previously. Not only has the Poland Titan attack humanity again, but Temecula has been repaired unbelievably by the power of the Titan. Is Aaron an only for humanity or just another enemy? As the debate continues within the walls, the score region newly joined by Aaron begin their 57 mission to the outside world. Okay. Next one is Pray. In March 2032, Morgan Yu is recruited by their brother Alex to join Transtar research team on Talas 1. However, while taking a series of tests prior to leaving for the station, one of the supervising daughter is attacked by Typhon and Morgan is knocked out. Morgan woke up again in their apartment, but quickly finds out that merely a simulated environment is 2035, and Morgan has already been living on Talos 1 for 3 years. Morgan is then contacted with January, an operator artificial intelligence that claimed to have been built by Morgan. January warns Morgan that the Typhon have broken containment and taken over the station, killing the majority of the crew. It also reveals to Morgan that they had been testing This also refers to Morgan they had been testing neuromas for the past 3 years, with Morgan continually adding and removing them. The neuromas allow for instantaneous learning of complex skills and abilities. The side effect of removing a neuroma is that the user loses memories gained after installation of the neuromod. Sorry. Neuromods. For the past 3 years, with Morgan adding will this neuromod allow for instantaneous learning of complex skills and abilities. The side of removing a neuromod is that the user lost all memories gained after installation of the neuromod. Explaining Morgan memory loss, January then claims that Morgan will explaining Morgan memory loss, January claims that Morgan built it to help Morgan destroy Talas 1. Taking the Typhon and all of its research with it, meanwhile Alex contact Morgan and investigates it, building a spacious null wave device that will destroy the Typhon but leave the station intact, citing how their research is to valuable loss. Okay. Next is Absolver. Also, here I just tell about gameplay. Absolver is an action role-playing game based on martial arts fighting, featuring a seamless open world with the shortcut and free roaming and merging single, cooperative and competitive play in the same campaign, which is played from a third-person perspective. Player build custom combination of strikes, parries, and feint to fight other players and computer-controlled characters. Players counter warrior characters known as prospect will travel the fictional lands of adults to fight other players and prove their worth to become one of the Absolver peacekeepers. Players progress throughout the game to unlock new armor and equipment, combat style and weapon, usually a slow dropped by different enemies. The game has minor, massively multiplayer online game. MMO elements, including the feature of fighting alongside other players on quests and directly fighting other players in player versus player match up. Player can also spar with others to teach their character skills. Players customize their character fighting move known as moveset by adding and removing cards in combat deck, with its card assigned to specific move. Additionally, players switch between four fighting stances during combat, which change the move available to the player. Its fighting stance has to attack its with on controller button. Player additional cards by progressing through the game. Each card has a numerical rating for speed and damage dealt, as well as secondary function such as the ability to break an opponent's guard. The move in stance can be set such that the player can switch between stance during a single combination of attack to have the guard breaking of absorption interrupting move that work best against the opponent's playstyle. The character can also equip a weapon, but its benefits and drawbacks are balanced. Weapons are powerful but slower than skillful hands-to-hand attack. Player can also disarm other players to take their weapons. Next is Halo Wars 2. Halo. The spirit of virtue awakening from crucifixion at the artists and UNSC signal from the surface of the installation. Spartan red team is deployed to investigate the signal. The recover Isabel from abyss, but during the exfiltration, Spartan Douglas 042 is injured as an engagement during the exfiltration. Spartan Douglas is with Atriox and Spartan Alice 130 is left stranded on the ark. Back on the Spirit of Fire, Isabel reveals to Captain Carter how Atriox and the Venice invaded the ark, which leads the Carter declare war on the Venice Street to manage to set up a forward base and defeat Decimus, who is surviving the ark research. Decimus escape and ordered bombardment upon his own base. Upon investigating the wreckage, Isabel discovered information about the cartographer, a map of key system and weapon upon the ark. The steam figure for runner, elevator, and stand for the cartographer. Okay. Next is the search. The game takes place textured in disrupted future and where humans have exhausted the world resource, leading to strenuous social surface and environmental diseases. According to developer, the game paints dream portrait of the future where the evolution of technology in relation to society and the environment has led to the descent of humanity. Okay, maybe that's all from me. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, maybe that's all from me. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Next is The Witcher. The Witcher, the game tells the story of Geralt of Rivia, the Witcher, a genetically enchanted human with special powers trying to slay monsters. The Witcher contains 3 different paths with 3 affect game storyline. This part are alliance with the societal guerrilla fighting group of elves and other non-humans alliance with Order of Flaming Rose, whose may protect the country of Temeria, or alliance with the Nether group to maintain the Witcher neutrality. In the game opening cutscene, the Geralt is tasked with carrying K-Folt's daughter, Prince Ada, of course that transformed her into feral monster. Years later, a group of Witcher find amnesia Geralt skills in field and take him to Witcher stronghold or Kermorhen as he struggles to recall his memories. The castle is attacked by a gang of bandits named of Salamander. The Witchers and sorcerer trees Marigold battle the invaders, but they make other Jeff and the assassin professor escape with the mutagenic potion that genetically after the Witcher head off in different directions to find information on the salamander. Geralt looking over Vizima's dilapidated cemetery. Geralt has sought to Vizima, capital of Temeria and where Foltest reign. On the Orchid, he met a magically gifted child called Alvin and learns that Vizima is in Guadalajara. To obtain a pass, Geralt defeats Hellhound plugging the Orchid, but is arrested upon trying to enter Vizima. Geralt ventures to kill a monster in the sewers in exchange for his freedom from jail and emigrates in Vizima's temple quarter. With the help of private investigator, Geralt pursues multiple leads on the salamander and the witnesses, raising tension between the Order on the Flaming Rose and Society. After a confrontation with Azajef and the Professor, Geralt is knocked unconscious and saved by Triss, who invites him to a party of high-standing officials in Vizima Trade Quarter. There, Geralt meets Princess Ada and gains several new leads on Salamander business front, as the Order and the Societal grow bolder in their efforts. Geralt finds out more about Alvin's power and vision while taking down Salamander operation. Geralt finally assaults Salamander base in Vizima with help either the Order or the Societal kill the Professor, but finds himself surrounded by royal guard after escaping. Ada, who has been forging royal edict in Foltest's absence, declares she must kill him to conceal her treachery, but Tree still abort him to a village on the other side of Vizima Lake. Geralt and his friend Benlin find some unsteady peace while taking care of Alvin, helping with problems surrounding an ill-fated wedding and negotiating between the village and the inhabitants of Aquatic City. Eventually, however, the conflict between the order and the societal threatens the village, forcing Geralt to finally pick a side or make enemies of both factions. The scarlet Alvin mysteriously disappeared in a flash, and Geralt and Dendran decide to sail back to Vizimoto and Salamander. Foldes finally returns and retakes control of his castle, but at the same time civil war was broken out. The societal have caused an uprising, and the other of the Flaming Rose has responded by killing non-human with a little discord. Depending on which ship Geralt took in the previous battle, he must either help the knight on the elf in the battle or assist nurse in failed hospital. He also deals with Ada, who has suffered from a relapse or health course, after which the grateful king disclosed clues about Azarjev's location, storming the main salamander base with his allies. Geralt finally kills the evil Nick, but is shocked to learn that he grandmaster of the Order of the Flaming Rose is the mastermind behind salamander mutation program. With most Knight of the Order possible. With most Knight of the Order and their mutants now entering Aquan Rebellion, the king again turned to Geralt with a contract to kill Grandmaster. Upon being confronted, the Grandmaster tries to persuade Geralt of his greater plan to save humanity from properties of world-consuming ice. The skeptical Geralt is chaos to icy wasteland illusion by the Grandmaster, who is tricking simulations to Alvin. Geralt successfully defeats him and then approached by the king of the Wild Hunt in Spectre form. To call the Grandmaster Soul, Spectre warns Geralt of the impending events or fight him and disappear, upon which Geralt murder the Grandmaster and escape the illusion. In the ending, Capscan, a man with Witcher vertical pupils, attempts to assassinate Foltest, but is trapped by Geralt, leading directly into Witcher 2, Assassin of Kings. Okay, next is Paladin. Here I will just give some information about hero class. First, hero class is frontline. Heroes who serve as the anchor of the team, holding the front and protecting their allies. With high hero pulse and shielding capabilities, frontline champions excel at blocking enemy fire and disrupting enemy objective captures. 2. Damage. Heroes who possess reliable and consistent damage output or large burst damage potential. The damage coupled with average health pulse and decent mobility make damage champion ideal for skirmishes and extended firefights. 3. Support. Champion with high utility and healing abilities, the backbone of anything, due to their healing capabilities that keep their allies in the fight. Support champions are invaluable allies. 4. Flank. Champion who excel at traversing the battlefield and getting behind enemy lines, eliminating vulnerable key targets. Will most flank heroes are relatively frail, having lower health pulse and their any other role. Their excellent mobility and self-sustain provide them with the means of escape and survival. And in this time, I want some information about game modes. There are different gameplay modes for Paladin. First, Game mode C. The main player in game mode two team race against each other to capture the map central capture point, and if successful, push a payload that spawn from it to the enemy base. The successful push or capture gains 1 point. The first team to 4 points win the game. So, onslaught. Team battle over layered combat in an attempt to take point, control, and earn points, along with holding uncontested presence on the counterpoint. Slaying enemy players also scores points for the team. Akin to a team deathmatch, killing an enemy scores the team 5 points. While holding control over the combat earn the team 1 point per second. The first team to reach maybe 400 points, or the team with the most points after 10 minutes wins the game. 3. Deathmatch. A classic game mode in most first-person shooter game where two teams fight against each other to score kill. The first team to 40 kills win the game. 5. Test map. An additional game mode accessible in the casual section. Players can play untested maps that may be implemented into the game and give their rating for the map. The objective for test maps for Sick and Team Deathmatch and the maps available are rotated by every major patch. This mode was no longer available, but is not useful when this change occurred due to the patch notes not revealing this information. Next is game mode-nya payload. The attacking team payload. The attacking team is tasked with escorting a payload through an extended railroad track to push it as far as they can, or the end goal, while the defending team thwarts their progress. Push is held if the both teams, the defending team thwarts their progress. A push is held if the both teams engage in combat near the payload and it slowly moves backward if no one on attacking the team is nearby to push it. Top push progress team has accumulated is not lost. Once time runs out or if the payload is pushed to destination, team switch attack or defense roles. The winner is determined by the team that push the payload and the voters. The attacking team setting the bar in the first round. If the attacking team in the second round are able to push the payload the same distance, the first team in the second win the game. This is survival. Teams try to outlast each other relatively small map with no respawning until the next round, although while avoiding deadly with fog that close in from the router edge of the map. The fog deals percentage based damage of a champion health and negates all healing while a champion is in it. Foiling long term small tactic, the fog start at the edge of map. It starts closing in after short delay until it reaches the map center, where any surviving champion are forced to battle. To gain point, one team must eliminate the entire enemy team. The first team to 5 points win the game. Co-op. Player versus environment game mode. A team of 5 face off against an all-control team that possesses extremely large hurt and high damaging attack, as well as modified abilities. The objective in each PvE map vary from capturing an objective in SIG game, where the mode is simplified so that only capturing the only is necessary or survival game. Next is Paladin Battleground. Battleground is the first hero shooter battle royale game. Each team will spawn onto Aztec map is 300 times the size of the largest SIG map. The last team for standing win, and that is not easy with 100 players. The game is about survival the 50s. Next game is Attack on Titan. In 845, when Eren was just 10 years old, the colossal Titan suddenly appeared like enough to breach the wall. It allowed other Titans to rampage through the city. One of them at Carla, Eren's mother, with the so-called armored Titan, preventing access while Maria was abandoned and humanity were forced to fall back to Walrus. Having lost his family, his calm, and his dream, Errands were raving on the Titan, aiming to become a member of Skull Regiment. He joined the 104 Cadet Corps. 3 years after Eren enlisted, the Cold Titan suddenly appeared again. Eren tried to fight it alone but failed to defeat it. He returned to headquarters and then took spot of himself. But the mission was failed with Eren suffering a terrible injury to his leg and many soldiers being killed. When Armin was about to eaten by a Titan, Eren sacrificed his life to save him. Immediately before the Troll's district wall was destroyed by the Colossal Titan, elite members of Skull Regiment were on mission outside the wall. The principal role of the Skull Regiment was to scout beyond the wall, seeking a way to break a wall, Maria which was lost 5 years previously, setting up supply base in destroyed town and village. They sought to secure a route for left force to make their way to Singasina district, where the wall was destroyed, fighting with the Titan outside the wall. As they go, they sought to secure the route while making new discoveries along the way. The brave resistance overrode by the garrison regiment, combined with the return of Scott regiment, was enough to keep Walrus safe from the Titans. Within the walls, however, the same chaos descended as was experienced when Maria was lost 5 years previously. Not only has the Golden Titan attacked humanity again, but Temecula has been repaired unbelievably by the power of the Titan. Is Eren an only for humanity or just another enemy? The debate continues within the walls. The Skull Regiment, newly joined by Eren begin their 57 mission to the outside world. Okay. Next one is Prey. In March 2032, Morgan Yu is recruited by their brother Alex to join Transstar research team on Talas 1. However, while taking a series of tests prior to leaving for the station, one of the supervising daughter is attacked by Typhon and Morgan is knocked out. Morgan wakes up again in their apartment, but quickly finds out that merely a simulated environment is 2035, and Morgan has already been living on Talos 1 for 3 years. Morgan is then contacted with generating an operator artificial intelligence that claim to have been built by Morgan. January warns Morgan that the Typhon have broken containment and taken over the station, killing the majority of the crew. It also reveals to Morgan that they had been testing It also refers to Morgan Day had been testing neuromas for the past 3 years with Morgan continually and adding and removing them. The neuromas allow for instantaneous learning of complex skills and abilities. The side effect of removing a neuromod is that the user loses all memories gained after installation of the neuromod. Sorry. Neuromods for the past 3 years with Morgan adding and will this neuromod allow for instantaneous learning of complex skills and abilities. The side of removing a neuromod is that the user lost all memories gained after installation of the neuromod. Explaining Morgan memory loss, January then claims that Morgan built it. Explaining Morgan memory loss, January claims that Morgan built it to help Morgan destroy Talas 1. Taking the Tapen and all of its research with it, men will contact Morgan and suggest instead building a special dual wave device that will destroy the Tapen but leave the station intact, citing how their research is to valuable loss. Okay. Next is Absolver. Also, here I just tell about gameplay. Absolver is an action role-playing game based on martial arts fighting, featuring a seamless open world with the shortcut and free roaming and merging single, cooperative and competitive play in the same campaign. Which is played from a third-person perspective. Player build a custom combination of strikes, parries, and feint to fight other players and computer-controlled characters. Players counter warrior characters known as prospect will travel the fictional lands of idols to fight other players and prove their worth to become one of the Absolver peacekeepers. Players progress throughout the game to unlock new armor and equipment, combat style and weapons, usually a slow dropped by different enemies. The game has minor, massively multiplayer online game. MMO elements, including the feature of fighting alongside other players on quests and directly fighting other players in player versus player match up. Player can also spar with others to teach their character skills. Player customize their character fighting move known as moveset by adding and removing cards in combat deck, with its card assigned to specific move. Additionally, players switch between four fighting styles during combat, which change the move available to the player. Its fighting stance has to attack its with own controller button. Player additional cards by progressing through the game. Each card has a numerical rating for speed and damage dealt, as well as secondary function such as the ability to break an opponent's guard. The move in stance can be set such that the player can switch between stance during a single combination of attack to have the guard breaking of absorption interrupting move that work best against the opponent's playstyle. The character can also equip a weapon, but it benefits and drawbacks are balanced. Weapons are powerful but slower than skillful hand-to-hand attack. Player can also disarm other player to take their weapons. Next is Halo Wars 2. Halo. The spirit of fear through awakening from crucifixion at the crisis and UNSC signal from the surface of the installation. Spartan retrieved this deployed to investigate the signal. The recovered Isabel from abyss, but during the exfiltration, Spartan Douglas 042 is injured as an engagement during the exfiltration. Spartan Douglas is with Atriox and Spartan Alice 130 is left stranded on the ark. Back on the Spirit of Fire, the sun reveals to Captain Cutter how Atriox and the Venice invaded the ark, with which leads the Cutter declare war on the Venice, strict to manage to set up a forward base and David Decimus, who is selecting the ark research. Decimus escaped and ordered bombardment upon his own base. Upon investigating the wreckage, Isabel discovered information about the cartographer, a map of key system and weapon upon the ark, the steam figure forerunner, elevator, and assistant for the cartographer. Okay. Next is the search. The game takes place in deserted future and where humans have exhausted the world resource, leading to strained social service and environmental diseases. According to the developer, the game paints dream portrait of the future where the evolution of technology in relation to society and the environment has led to the descent of humanity.